Greeting friends, my name is Anthony and I'm a channeler of 6.99 density Alpha Draconis race named KALASK. And in this video I've asked KALASK to talk about one of the subjects that I don't personally subscribe to or believe in, but of course everyone is entitled to their own opinion. In my personal perspective, I don't think this is a subject that should be even discussed in the spiritual community, in the channeling community, as I belong in the channeling community, but it is one of those most popular subjects, unfortunately, that too many people are believing in and sort of waiting impatiently, saying, when will it happen, when will it happen? And that subject is the concept of the open contact that will be created and conducted by certain humanoid or hybrid small zeta groups or hybrid groups that take a lot of genetic extractions from humans for the purposes of trading and sale. And then they create their own hybrid races and hybrid groups. And the open contact conversation wasn't really started by any one particular human in the industry. It did go back to the early 2000s by a lot of the people that were fraudulent speakers, of course, worthless humans in my opinion, who were selling a lot of fairy tales to innocent humans on the internet that the ascension's happening like next week or something, and that we got to pack our bags and meet each other on top of a mountain to be picked up by motherships. And eventually what happened was it snowballed into another fraud in the channeling industry, and that is the existence or arrival of these galactic federations of light, galactic federations of the worlds. And each few years a new galactic federation, of course, name is assigned and it is created, and then fake channelings are assigned by the AI renderings and automated AI programs and a lot of different AI type of apps that we can use today and download from Play Store, Apple Store on our mobile devices. One of these concepts, of course, then has converted itself and or rebranded itself into the imaginary non-existent beings, non-existent saviors of Thorhan, as well as Telos, as well as Ashtar Shirhan, and so on. But definitely the topic that stayed on top of that list of obsessions, as I call them. I think KALASK called them an obsession, but it is the topic of open contact. And it is the story where the open contact, meaning that it'll happen very, very soon. We just got to sort of stay put and pack our bags and it'll be there. We got to make some cookies and cheesecakes and prepare coffees and teas for these ETs that are going to land in our backyards. And we're going to get out there and just talk about life, talk about cooking, talk about gardening and all of these things. It's not going to happen. And the beings that I've been in contact with for about 6 to 8 years now, from humanoids to aquatic beings, a lot of reptilian beings from different locations, from Boetes, from Rigel, from Capella, from Alpha Draconis, such as KALASK, as well as THETA TAURI, one of my closest counterparts, even Earth reptilians from United States, such as Sedona, to Poland, to Russia, to Istanbul. All the videos I've already created, and all of the chapters in my book KALASK, Path to Thuban, that were already discussed about my experiences. Not one time was I ever told that the open contact is happening anytime soon, for so many different reasons. And I'm surprised that humans can't see these reasons. But so without further speaking about the open contact, I don't subscribe to it. It is one of the largest lies in the industry, and shame on those channelers that are still proposing this. They have no integrity and they have no honor, and I am more than willing to debate them live on any show, any podcast, or in a live channeling. They can bring in the beings that they work with, and I'll just bring in one KALASK, and then let's see that debate. Other than that, enjoy the video, and I will see you in the next video.
The open contact humans are so obsessed by something that is very comical. Lunacy around this subject. Why do you think you will be receiving this open contact? What do you define as open contact? From the ears and the eyes of this human Anthony we speak through, all the things he hears, reads, watches, we get a copy of. We understand some of the things lingering within the spiritual collective, the spiritual community collective, your URL web technology, the internet technology, social media sites, the applications you refer to as TikTok, Instagram, Rumble, YouTube, and what comes out of these subjects. It comes that there is an overpromise. An overpromise written by myths. Overpromise written by deception. Overpromise that has 4 cornerstones, lie after lie after lie after lie. That there is an open contact coming. Don't you see, humans, you're being lied to. You're seeing these videos promising you open contact. And then the reviews and the messages and the contributions of other humans and their thoughts and the energy harvesting agendas and schemes that they're part of. They say, yes, we are ready for the open contact. We are ready. When is it? And then the speakers who promise you these myths, these illusions, they tell you the open contact is coming this year. It's just around the corner. The open contact and the mass landing will happen in 6 months, and then it didn't happen, but it'll happen next year, and then the year after, and then the year after that. And in the recent time, many humans who claim to be channelers, yet they channel their own egos, pretend they connect to any beings, yet they say the contact is here. The contact is happening in 2022, and then 2023. And then 2024, and then 2025, the open contact. And now it's moved to 2026, and then now it's moved to 2027. But it'll happen between 2028 and 2032. But definitely it'll happen by the time 2036 or the 2040. Do you see the foolish lies you're being told? Yet you call reptilians bad. Yet you call reptilians evil and dangerous and deceptive. Yet those humans you foolishly believe in lie to you daily. They hang the carrots in front of you. They dangle these carrots in front of you as you're the donkey following the never-ending path. Where is this open contact? Even at the time of the recording of this video, what is the season? Summer of your 2025. Where is the contact promised from all of the previous years by those humans who lie to you daily with fake smiles and polite lies? What they don't tell you is multiple factors, so we're going to share some with you. The first factor is, let's identify the groups of beings that apparently channel through certain humans to tell you that the contact's happening. Who are these beings? The hybrids, the Sasani, the Pleyel, the YahYel. What authority do they have within the Earth's collective to even tell you that there is contact happening? Who gave them the authority? Who manages the Earth's realm? Who manages the Earth's reality? It isn't them. The only reason they're allowed to exist here is because there's a permission slip issued to them to exist. You're being told things by collective different beings who speak as one voice, one consciousness through many hijacked humans. Earth itself has multiple layers of custodians. Few of your authors in your own past have spoken about this. Some you already know as Zetas. Some you already know as insectoids. Some you already know as the humanoids. Some you already know as reptilians, our hybrids. We're the predecessors. Many custodians there presently in charge of Earth itself. The second part of this open contact, if this did occur, which it will not, it will break humans. It will break you psychically, it will break you psychologically, it'll break you emotionally, it'll break you mentally. You'd feel the level of fear you've never felt before. Imagine you stand in your own backyards. And then in your own backyard, you look up in the sky and you see the stars you generally look at. You try to see Pleiades, you try to see Ursa Major, you try to connect to Vega and Arcturus, etc. Now imagine for 3 seconds or 5 seconds. A craft manifests itself that is the size of the United States of America. This cannot be fathomed by a human mind. But imagine on a smaller term, smaller scale, the craft itself is the size of Texas, the size of France, the size of Australia. We can give you many examples, but it'll still not register. None of these crafts will land anywhere. So stop accepting this as truth. It isn't truth. It is one large lie. The other aspects of the open contact too, there's only a few races that desire this. The rest of the races are smart enough to know that human beings are not ready for this. You're not ready for 3 days of blackouts and no electricity. You're going to go crazy because there is no internet access. How will you be available emotionally, mentally, and psychically to accept the fact there are crafts landing that are size of cities and provinces and states? Beings will be coming out of them that don't look like you. Physicality is so different, it'll frighten you into receiving a psychotic shock. You would receive a heart attack. You wouldn't live. Don't forget, many of these beings, whether they're reptilian or humanoid, would have their own vibrational signature, their own frequency so strong that it'll kill anything in its path. One time this humans was explained, Anthony was explained through his own other counterparts at THETA. And they've told him if one of them opens a portal and appears in his living room, then every cat, every dog, every human in the radius of certain amount of kilometers would all die. And it is a choice up to him to decide. Does he want that contact? Because if he does, these humans would die. And of course, he's a proud human. He said no, he wouldn't want to hurt anyone. So what makes you think you'd be able to handle that? Also, none of these beings would speak your primitive English. What do you expect them to say? Hello, human, as they pet you on the head and ask you, what did you have for breakfast today? Most beings, even us, we speak at 6,000 answers a second. What do you want us to do? To slow down so we can ask you one question and wait for your slow answers. So there's multiple different reasons why the open contact will not happen. Another reason, almost all of your governments are in treaty with a variety of different collectives and groups, all of course run by the draconians, high-ranking reptilians and hybrids in loyalty to us. Even your own governments wouldn't want this for you. The only humans who want this for you are those humans who daily spend their content writing time in how will they create a video behind some AI renderings to tell you that the open contact is happening. Open contact is not happening. It has not happened and it will not happen. So stop seeking this foolishness. This is why you're not growing. None of you are growing because you're expecting things that has nothing to do with reality. You're escaping reality, as this human speaks often about mentally ill humans are waiting for these galactic federations. He's correct. Open contact. Where are you going? What do you need to do? Where do you want to go? Let us guess, you want to ascend, yes? Ascension is a different subject, but it is a completely different phenomenon. The open contact wouldn't be allowed by hundreds. That is 100 with an S at the end. Hundreds of different races and sub-races and then subgroups of those races presently involved with the Earth's collective, including insectoids that quite often watch out for humans. Insectoids that are so frightening that humans couldn't even fathom looking at something so scary. Yet you judge these insectoids and say that they are evil and malevolent without even understanding their own energy orientation. How many Earth reptilians by now have protected humans in your own past? How many times they fought wars for you? And you still turned your back against the Earth reptilians and then those humanoids who stole our own draconian DNA, who pretended to be gods, you called them your gods. This is why you're called bastard children by the draconian empire. Because you are the bastard children. You don't appreciate your true parents and your true creators and your true predecessors. Yet you want the open contact. What have you done in exchange? What have you done in return? How have you prepared yourself mentally and psychically? Or are you still arguing with what president is better than the other? Are you still arguing with what sports team is better than the other? Are you still arguing with one another because you're better than someone else because they have a different color skin? Are you still arguing with what war is justified within your earth now and what war is not justified because it's out of patriotism and it's out of democracy? Do you see how blinded and stupid you are with your little potato brains? The open contact will not happen. The contact that you should be pursuing is the contact with your own souls, your own higher selves. The terminology Anthony uses is higher fractal consciousness. That contact is something that is within you. Some of you may use the terms of source, God, sure, fine. Contact that. Contact your galactic guide. Do you know who they are? Do you know the species that they are? Do you know their vibrational sounds? Are you taught this by your own teachers within the Earth's collective? Or are you just blinded with, hello, this is my recent message from the Galactic Federation? Is this how you grow? Humans cut themselves short at their own knees and they don't realize it. Many are so lazy, yet they want all the psychic abilities overnight. They want to ascend. They want a free ride ship to the 5D. They want to go to all of these different planets, yet believe the foolishness you're told on your internet and through your own religious establishments. At least your religions don't tell you there's an open contact of crafts. They hide the existence of extraterrestrials, extra-dimensionals, interdimensionals, and all of the other lineup of celestial subjects very covertly. And that's fine. It's always been this way. It'll always be this way. The open contact you proposed often comes with other lies. It comes with this one lie that's even surprising to us. It comes with the aspect that these hybrid groups, the Sasani, the Playel, YahYel, and others, that they have full control over the Earth's collective. They have the control over the Earth's timeline. They have the control of the nuclear threat to Earth. They have the control of the disclosure by the governments to tell humans that extraterrestrials are real, that crafts are real, reverse engineering is real, underground bases are real. Do you see the stupidity in this? Who is here to blame? The races we spoke of course, aren't speaking this gibberish. It is humans that are pretending to channel these beings that are speaking this gibberish. One moment, water needed. Those humans that have came at the very edge of their careers. They've lost so many humans believing in their propagandas and now started to fake their channelings and fake the statements that they tell you. The fake statements of even presidential elections. Within the United States region, wasn't there an election one of your years ago? The female human of Kamala and the other human of Donald. Weren't you told by some channelers that if you vote for the Kamala female, the world and the America will be better? Yet, if you vote for the human of Donald, it'll be destruction in World War III. Why are these humans misleading you? Yet you cheer them and applaud them. You buy their t-shirts. You subscribe to their foolishness on your internet collective. Yet they tell you, trust me humans, the open contact's happening tomorrow. And when the tomorrow ends and you go to sleep state, they create another statement saying it'll happen in 2026 and then in 2027. And each year you are placed on a path of having your own energy harvested. Yet, who do you blame from your energy harvesting? You blame the reptilians, don't you? You think we need your, what is this term, loosh? We don't need anything from you. If it wasn't for us, you already would have been destroyed and taken over by an entire lineup of different groups and different beings who truly hate you. So perhaps next time you like the videos, you subscribe to videos, you sponsor the videos, donate your monetary fund, money, dollars to these videos, you buy the products by these humans. Ask yourself, are you being fooled? The open contact will not happen. It will not be allowed to happen. And human beings obviously are not ready for this level of open contact. This is something that we know now. This is something that's always been this way. In the ancient time, of course, the open contact was much more frequent. It wasn't called by that terminology. You call this the open contact. Like some president is arriving with his motorcade. Like some ship is landing. This isn't how it was before. Open contact was much more frequent. In ancient civilization, beings landed freely, associated themselves, communicated with, even had sexuality, genetic extraction, genetic trading, friendships, education, tutoring, building of the rapport with human beings, even our own draconian groups. You know some as Nagai even, yes? Your own certain cultures, such as the Tibetans and others, they know this. These aren't some myth, these are actual stories. At that time, the contact and the open contact terminology was much more frequent, much more real. Then, Of course, it started as a lot of these beings went underground, and then, even in your own recent time, of the few of your thousands calendar years, the quarantine was placed. No one comes in without monitoring. No one comes in without permissions. And all permission slips are issued by those beings you call lizards, the reptilians, our hybrids within the Earth's collective. So regardless of what you hear on the internet, open contact, unfortunately for you, is not happening.